Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Namaskar to all. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. It is my privilege to welcome one of India's most distinguished scientists, innovation leader and champion of intellectual property, Padma Vibhushan, Dr. Raghunath Anjali Anant Mashelkar ji. Born in humble circumstances and raised by a courageous single mother, Dr. Mashelkar's journey from the chawls of Mumbai to global scientific performance is a powerful story of perseverance, determination, and excellence. A pioneering chemical engineer and researcher, Dr. Mashelkar has made globally acclaimed contributions to polymer science and engineering. As a Director General of CSIR, he led one of India's largest publicly funded research networks and transformed it into globally competitive innovation ecosystem. Dr. Mashelkar played a defining role in strengthening India's intellectual property movement and protecting India's traditional knowledge systems. His leadership was instrumental in landmark battles related to turmeric and basmati patents, safeguarding India's knowledge legacy on the global stage. A Fellow of Royal Society London and a Foreign Associate of the US National Academics, Dr. Mashelkar is respected across the world for his contribution. His extraordinary service to science and society has been recognized through India's highest civilian honors, Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan. Beyond laboratories and research institutes, he has inspired generations through transformative ideas such as inclusive innovation, Gandhian engineering, and more for less for more. His vision continues to guide India towards affordable excellence, inclusive growth, and innovation that creates meaningful societal impact. In today's podcast, Viksit Bharat, Decolonizing Academia, we have the honor of engaging with a visionary who has shaped India's scientific landscape and redefined how innovation can serve humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm welcome to Padma Vibhushan, Dr. Raghunath Anjali Anant Mashelkar. Sir, India today is witnessing a good startup boom, but much of our academic and innovation ecosystem still carries colonial era structures. So how do you define decolonizing innovation in the Indian context?
I like the word decolonization because what colonization does, besides the political freedom and other things, it changes your mindset. What it does is that gives you an inferiority complex, that the people who have colonized you are superior to you. So first is the inferiority complex. The second is, as far as innovation is concerned, innovation is doing things differently to make a difference. Here, you are afraid to do that. Mm-hmm. So what you do is imitation. And you do it with some inhibition. Mm-hmm. Can I make that change? Okay. And that is how our mindsets have been. For example, I remember Sir Federico Mayer, the former Director General of UNESCO, mm-hmm. had once said in a meeting that wisdom flows from south to north and knowledge flows from north to south. Mm-hmm. But that's not quite correct, because I said knowledge flows, but usable knowledge which can create wealth does not flow. Mm. All right? And therefore, we become dependent. Mm-hmm. That Atmanirbharta that we talk about just sort of goes away. Mm-hmm. We are always looking up to somebody. Leadership goes away. You are always following. You are not leading.
Right.
You are not daring.
Right.
You are not risking, and so on and so forth. I'll give you an example. I'm going to talk about your book, IP to IPO. It's a very important book. But when it comes to intellectual property, if you just see our record, I think 1898, Sir J.C. Bose invented wireless.
Yeah.
And that basic technology on iron, mercury, iron corer, he demonstrated. Okay, he was the first one to demonstrate it. Sister Nivedita went to him and said, patent it. He said, no, knowledge is for all public good and I will not do so, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Marconi came months later. But Marconi did not do that. Marconi patented it. So what did you and I learnt in the school? Marconi invented wireless. That is not.
That's not correct.
It was J.C. Bose.
Yes.
That is 1898. In 1998, I fought the Basmati battle.
Yes.
Because there was a wrong patent that was taken by the US company.
Right.
And they called it Texmati and so on and so forth. And I fought that. So from 1898 to 1998, for 100 years, it has been a journey of Bose to Basmati. That has to change. That's what I'm saying. So therefore, I've always said, in fact, when I got the J.R.D. Tata Corporate Leadership Award, I had ended by talking about New India, of our dreams, and I had said that I in India must not stand for imitation, must not stand for inhibition, which is a signal of the colonized world, but it must stand for innovation.
Amazing, sir. You have always advocated for more from less for more people. How can Indian startups build globally competitive yet socially inclusive innovation rooted in Bharat's realities rather than borrowed Western templates?
I think that's a great question. What is special about India? India has scarcity of resource, but India is full of aspirations.
Yeah.
And the combination of scarcity and aspiration is a deadly one, which can create innovation. I have coined this term more from less for more. Let me explain. What is the current innovation? The current innovation is getting more from more for less and less people. What do I mean by that? iPhone 5, then iPhone 6 will be more expensive. iPhone 10 will be more expensive. iPhone 17 will be more expensive. More and more and more for more.
Yeah.
Okay? And therefore it is available for less and less people.
True.
I'm saying no. It should be more from less for more. Use least resources to create excellent output. Create more out of it. So that because you have used least resources, you have made something which is affordable and therefore it can go to the masses. So more from less for more. That is the philosophy. In other words, it means affordable excellence. Now that looks impossible. Oh, how can affordable be excellent and excellent be affordable? But we have demonstrated that. For example, in my mother's name, we have created Anjani Mashelkar Foundation.
Yes.
And what you see here is FX Healthcare Kit. FX is affordable excellence. Okay? This is MLM. What does this mean? I'll explain to you. This bag contains several breakthrough technologies which belong to MLM, more from less for more.
Okay.
For example, you cough into a phone and you know where your TB.
Right.
Because the audiometry is trained by artificial intelligence with cough as a biomarker.
Wow.
Now just see what is the more from less for more part of it. Normally, for finding out your lung health, lung conditions, you require spirometer. It costs 1.5 lakh of rupees.
Yeah.
Villages don't have that. And it's quite expensive. All right? Here, you are using your phone. What is the capital cost? Nothing.
Nothing.
Less. The coughing would take place in few seconds. Whereas if you use a spirometer, it will take you at least 45 minutes to 1 hour for test.
Yeah.
Okay? So this is in terms of time less.
Yeah.
you look at the cost. Spirometer will take you 1,000 rupees plus minus. Here you are just cuffing, and the cost is 10 rupees around. All right. So the time is less, the effort is less, the performance is better.
Yeah.
All right. So this is more from less for more. So this bag actually contains such breakthroughs, basically, where you put your finger and you know your hemoglobin.
Okay.
Normally for your hemoglobin, somebody will come, prick your finger or prick your, take blood from your arm, send it to the lab, and will take you several hours before you know the hemoglobin. Here, we have used a high technology where you put your finger and you know your hemoglobin. 10 rupees.
Amazing.
Not 100, 200 rupees. All right. But equally accurate. Excellence. No compromise on excellence. So this is affordable excellence. Now, the excellence part of it will mean that made in India can go around the world.
True.
And the affordable part of it will mean India can use it. That is the kind of innovation we need to do.
Right.
Now, we have been giving these awards for 15 years now, and you will see many of those breakthroughs. Some have gone to 12 countries, some to 16 countries, some to 20, and even 1 to 50 countries.
Wow.
Made in India for the world. Why the world takes it? Because it is excellence.
Yeah.
And why India benefits? Because this can do 20 measurements, medical measurements, your BP or hemoglobin or whatever, in 10 minutes for 100 rupees.
Wow.
All right, and that is now spreading all over the country. This is the kind of innovation we must have.
That's such a proud, example for Make in India for the world, right? So, do you still believe Indian academia is preparing students for jobs instead of nation building and problem solving? And what structural shift you think are urgently needed in the ecosystem?
Yes, I think that's a very important question. How do we convert the job seekers into job creators? I think that's the fundamental issue.
Yeah.
And that is where India's startup movement becomes important, actually. Thanks to our Prime Minister, this entire idea of Startup India, you can see the difference it is making now. What difference is it making? You can see we have an exponential growth. We are the third fastest growing startup system in the world.
Yes, sir.
If you look at what are called as unicorns, which is $1 billion market cap, until 2016, we used to have one unicorn per year. By 2021, within 5 years, we had one unicorn per week.
Absolutely.
Per year to per week.
Yeah.
44, not 52, but almost. Now, how has this change taken place? It is because there is an ecosystem that has been created. Because when it comes to, let us say, startups, and your book explains it brilliantly, basically what you are talking about, entrepreneurship to start with, coupled with innovation.
Correct.
Not merely entrepreneurship like doing some service or something routine or selling.
No traditional business.
But creating something which offers something new, novelty. Okay. Now, for that, the mindset has to change. The mindset of just looking for a service, serving somebody and creating wealth for him. How do I create wealth for myself? By using the knowledge, new knowledge that I create, the new breakthroughs that I create, the new product that I create, and even new services that I create. That is the change in mindset that is very important. And for that, there have to be fundamental attributes. It is not sort of just becoming a part of a problem, but becoming a part of a solution. You have to have problem-solving orientation.
Right.
Without that, you cannot sort of do that. Secondly, you must be able to think out of the box, not routine.
Right.
Our exams, for example, are just memory-based. I mean, you remember something and reproduce it. No, you have to create something new. And therefore, the fundamentals like creativity, innovation, coupled with compassion, coupled with passion, coupled with emotional intelligence, coupled with cognitive flexibility, they all become important.
Yes.
All right? And our education systems must change in order to sort of change that. But I think the basic challenge is, rather than becoming a part of a problem, be a part of a solution. And that solution can create wealth and then create jobs.
Absolutely, sir. Great insights over there for the students listening this podcast. Sir, India has immense indigenous knowledge systems, traditional sciences and grassroots innovations. How can academic institutions integrate these into modern startup ecosystems without reducing them to tokenism?
Again, a very important question. See, I remember when the wound healing properties of turmeric were patented, and I just saw that. I fought that battle.
Yes, sir.
And made the US Patent Office withdraw that patent. That is called Haldi Ka Tikki Ladai now, as we call it. But that was symbolic. And I remember at that time that I became the chairman of World Intellectual Property Organization's Standing Committee on Information Technology, SCIT, as it is called. 176 member nations were there.
Yes.
And I told them, I said, knowledge generated in Caltech, Oxford, Stanford, Oxford, Cambridge is knowledge. And knowledge generated in laboratories of life by my ancestors, which is traditional knowledge that you are talking about, is not knowledge, that is not all. And therefore, we had this international patent classification change while I was the chairman to include traditional knowledge as a knowledge system. So the very first thing begins by accepting, the whole word accepting, that traditional knowledge is also knowledge.
Yeah.
That was a major breakthrough. Having got that, we have to also understand that traditional knowledge has been based on experiential learning, so as to say, okay? And its validation by using rigorous science is very important, basically. And therefore, I had proposed this idea long time ago on what is called as a golden triangle. Golden triangle is traditional medicine, modern medicine and modern science going together. Now modern science and modern medicine, they have always gone together. Today, for example, there will not be gene therapy if the structure of gene was known. That means structure of DNA was not known. And structure of DNA was known because of X-ray diffraction. So basic physics. That led finally to gene therapy. So that connection has been there. But the connection between traditional medicine and modern medicine has not been there. In fact, Vaidya and the doctor, they fight with each other. Similarly, the connection between traditional medicine and modern science is not there. Nobody has checked as to what is the sort of fundamental basis on why it works the way it works. You get my point?
Yes.
We know that it works. But so, therefore, bringing these is important. So, I started when I was the DG of CSR, a big program in putting that together. And there was an advantage. I'll give you an example just to prove the point. For example, in Ayurveda, there is what is called a Trikuta. And within that Trikuta, there is a black pepper. And within that black pepper, we found an active ingredient called piperine. Okay? Which we found by scientific experiments that it increases bioenhancing. Okay? Now, what does that bioenhancing mean? That means the amount of the active drug which will be circulating in the blood will be much more, with much less number of tablets.
Okay.
What 4 tablets can do, 2 tablets, and 2 tablets can do with 1 tablet. By enhancing. Now you can see the advantage. One is the cost, reduce. Second, toxicity.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what we did was that we created the golden triangle. So here was piperine being used in Ayurveda. Okay, in a way. We use science to find out how it works, the way it works. We publish scientific research papers. And at the same time, we validated it by doing phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 clinical trials. What is the net effect? We found that when we put this along with anti-tubercular drugs, for example, you have to take less drugs. So there was a new product called Resourcin, which was created by a company, and it is selling in the market today. How did we do that? By validating ancient wisdom through modern science and then validating it with modern medicine technique. I'm just giving you one example. You can see how much we can do.
I think, and that's a first step towards decolonizing, is going back to where we started and first accepting how great those things were.
Absolutely.
So we often celebrate unicorns, and you also highlighted the way Startup India has built those infra and making it succeed. But when you talk about social impact ventures, right, sometimes they feel that they are left out. I'm like, most of the incubation support and funding comes to the high growth and high impact startups. So should India redefine the success metrics beyond valuation and exit?
Yes, I think this is again a great question. You see, here you see, for example, all the 15 Anjani Mashelkar Award winners. There is 2 characteristics. They are all startups, number 1. Number 2 is that they have not gone for valuations. They have gone for values. And what is the value? Saving lives. Secondly, they don't want to be billionaires. They want to bring the smile on the faces of billions. All right? Resource poor people, for example, and so on and so forth. That is why I said the mantra here is 20, 10, 100. Okay? 20 parameters in 10 minutes for 100 rupees. 100 rupees, nothing, $1. Okay? So this is that affordable excellence part of it. So I think the matrix has to be not just how much money that you made. What difference did you make to the society? How many jobs did you create? How many lives did you save? Climate is a big problem. How much carbon footprint did you reduce? And so on and so forth. I think in terms of impact for creating better lives, there will be sort of a dozen parameters. I think each of our innovation, particularly Indian innovation, I call it Indovation. All right, which works for India, basically, has to have that matrix.
So when we talked about the aspect of making the difference in the structure in the academic setting, the most important part, I think, the role played is by the professors and the researchers. So what role do you think for New India or Viksit Bharat, professors and researchers can play for creating deep tech and intellectual property driven startups from campuses?
I think that is very important because if you look at all the startups that I proudly talked about, not even 5 to 10% of them are deep tech. Not even 5 to 10% are them who can say, we were the first to do it. They will say, I was first in Maharashtra, first in India, but first in the world. I think that is missing. And therefore, going up that curve of excellence is extraordinarily important. That means there has to be an aspiration which has to be high. Aspirations are our possibilities, so as to say. Number 1. Number 2, you have to challenge. For example, DeepSeek of China. What did it do? It actually broke through into generative AI to create something which meant this affordable excellence criteria, highly affordable, but competing with the best in the world. And within a day, they were able to knock off $1.3 trillion from the 4 top companies within one day. Okay? If DeepSeek can do it, can we not do it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that aspiration of that DeepSeek mind, so as to say, I'm not saying we should copy China. We can be well ahead of China in terms of thinking. But what I'm saying is that the fact that it is not the power of the budget that matters, but the power of idea that matters is something that we have to say. There is no limit to imagination. There is no limit to what you can think in terms of breakthrough ideas.
Absolutely, sir. And I think the kind of DPIs the government is also focusing on, the digital public infrastructure, which we have, like UPI, is now a global phenomena. It started very small. We have Bhashini AI, which is becoming one of the most talked about AI ecosystems around the world.
These are brilliant examples. There was a time when the digital transactions, which are sort of financial transactions, I think a couple of years ago, we had almost 42 or 43% share of all the transactions. Can you imagine a country which was suffering with a poor banking system at a point in time? Today we are much better. Can you imagine 50% of the digital transactions being done by one country? That was possible because of these technological breakthroughs.
So the next important aspect is we as a country, when we talk about 126 unicorns we have, only 16 have some kind of patents. So there was a report published where it said that we are still not an innovative country. When you look at US, it is said that 35% of the GDP contribution comes through inventions and innovations led economy. So how can India move from being a consumer of imported technologies to becoming a creator of original knowledge and globally respected IP?
Yes, I think you have to set, again we come back to the aspiration and deciding. For example, when I started the Anjani Mashelkar Awards 15 years ago, you know what I said? I'm not fond of best practice. I only recognize next practice.
Wow.
Our next practice must become best practice. Because when you say I'm following best practice, I'm following.
Yes.
You have to have leadership.
Right.
That drove it, and today you have things which are well ahead of the rest of the world.
Absolutely.
In this. That's number one. Number two, this is I did at an individual level, but even when I was the Director General of CSIR, I remember in year 2000, I created what is called as a New Millennium Indian Technology Leadership Initiative. Leadership was the key word. Not following, leadership. Now, when you do leadership, you are not following others, you are not copying, you are not reverse engineering, but you are doing something for the first time. So you are bound to fail. So I remember creating public-private partnership where even the government will give money to the private sector, which was unusual. But towards a bold project with high ambition. Okay. For example, we had said laptop used to cost $2,000. Can you do it in $200? TB would get cured in 6 to 8 months. Can you do it in 2 months?
2 months.
These were taught out. And we succeeded. We created a molecule. Unfortunately, in phase 2 clinical trials, it failed. That's a different matter. But the same country which was copying drugs, and we became the pharmacy of the world, was able to create a new molecule. We never thought we can create a new molecule. But the moment that challenge was given, scientists started thinking differently. When I was at National Chemical Laboratory, I created a kite flying fund. Ideas where the chance of success will be 1 in 100. I would fund it. When I was at CSIR, I created New Idea Fund. I didn't want to call it Kite Flying Fund. New Idea Fund. And there were breakthroughs, like somebody creating US patents on spin computing ahead of time. Somebody creating liquid crystal displays which are 100 times faster than the rest of the world. We had US patents, but we did not have the ecosystem
Yeah.
to commercialize them. So the point I'm trying to make is that it is all this. The same people, I mean, I remember when I was director of National Chemical Laboratory, we were copying, we were reverse engineering, 1989, import substitution of the buzzword. And in my very first speech, I said, no, we should be able to license our technology to the leaders in the world.
Right.
Right? And I remember I mentioned General Electric because I'm a polymer guy and they had done some breakthrough. So I said, even to General Electric. And somebody came to me and said, do you realize that General Electric's R&D budget is 2.5 times India's R&D budget? So I say it is not the power of budget
Money.
that matters, it's the power of ideas. And since you talked about GE, we'll take on GE. And can you believe it? This was 1989. In 1992, we had licensed 3 of our US patents to General Electric
Wow.
for close to $1 million. All right? And in what area? In polycarbonates, where they had 40% world market share.
Yes.
So the same laboratory, the same scientists were copying reverse engineering. When given a challenge, they said, yes, we'll do that. And they created something which sort of we were able to sort of license out. So we have all the talent. I think it's a talent, technology, and trust. Trust by the society, by the government, in the innovators, and trust by the innovators in themselves.
Yeah. And I think I would like to add here, trust by the management of the institutions on their professors as well to help them scale the commercialization part
Of course. Without that, it doesn't work. And you know that self-confidence.
Yeah.
I remember I was on the Microsoft External Research Advisory Board.
Yes, sir.
And once I remember Bill Gates telling us something interesting. He said that when he was very young, computers were just starting to be manufactured. And there was a company in Albuquerque which was going to create the hardware. And he was very young, some 18, 19-year-old or whatever. So he called them and said, you are doing hardware, you will require software, I will give it to you. And he said that I thought they will keep the phone down, because a young boy's voice could be easily recognized. So they would keep the phone. They did not do that. You know what they did? They said, we are not ready, come after a month. And you know what Bill Gates said is even more interesting. He said, thank God they said come after a month, because I did not have the software that I was going to offer. That is called self-confidence.
Yes.
So you have to have the self-confidence,
Exactly.
and the system has to have a confidence in you.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. Sir, I interact with a lot of students, entrepreneurs for last couple of years, and many young innovators whom I interacted with feel constrained by rigid university systems. What advice would you give to institutions to create fearless innovation culture? If there could be 2-3 pointers.
Yes, I think one is that we have to understand the meaning of fail. Fail is first attempt in learning.
Yeah.
Okay? And your best guru is your last mistake, as long as we don't repeat the mistake. Chandrayaan 2 succeeded because Chandrayaan 1 failed. But from that failure, they learned all the lessons, did not repeat any of them. And Chandrayaan 2 was great success. And therefore, failure is a part of innovation, is something that you have to you have to celebrate failures sometimes. For example, I remember with, you are talking about institution, but let me talk about even big companies like Tata's. I still remember when Ratan Tata was alive, 2006 I think, it was that they had a meeting of the top executives in Goa. And they had asked me to give a keynote address. And the title of my talk was Innovation as a Way of Life.
Okay.
And I said that a CEO from US had come who told me that we don't hang people in our company who make mistakes. Okay? But we hang people who don't take risks. What do you do in India?
Yeah.
So I said, of course we hang them. And there was a big laughter,
Yeah.
like you did.
Yes.
But there is one person who did not laugh, Ratan Tata.
Yeah.
He asked me, just outside while having a tea, how do we bring that culture here? So I said, create an award for those who dare to try. And the the project became daring to try. So you set yourself some hoary goals, basically, and try to achieve them. I remember I was the chairman for the first committee itself. And I remember basically after a long while, I was chief guest for some innovation awards function in Tata Motors. And there were 3 stalls.
Okay.
The first stall was, yes, we did it. That means we took a risk and we achieved it. Second, we are at it. They were describing. And the third, very proudly saying, we tried, but. Can you imagine failure being celebrated?
Yeah.
Why failure was being celebrated? That we aimed high.
Yeah. Moonshot ideas.
Yeah, aiming low is sort of a crime.
Yes.
And I think that culture has to be sort of brought in. And failure is a necessary part of innovation, is something that people have to understand.
So we are coming to the closure of this interaction. I would like to know, what does an Indian or Bharat's model of innovation and entrepreneurship would look like to you by 2047 under the vision of Honorable PM's Viksit Bharat?
Yes. I think the important part is Viksit Bharat. Today we have India and Bharat.
Yeah.
India is flying. Bharat is not. All right? Look at our villages and 70% of our population. And they are denied access. And the government is trying to do its best and so on and so forth. All right? And therefore, when you say Bharat, we have to take Bharat seriously.
Right.
It is not Viksit India, it is Viksit Bharat. And what Viksit Bharat will need is exactly things of this kind.
Affordable access.
Today, you talked about the digital infrastructure, public infrastructure, because of which we are flying. I told you about unicorns, okay? And I said that in 2021, there were 44 unicorns.
Yeah.
Do you know 1/3 of them came from Tier 2, Tier 3 cities?
Yes.
Why did they come from Tier 2 to Tier 3 cities?
The problem
Because that digital infrastructure was available to them.
Yeah.
Because it was highly affordable.
Yeah.
Thanks to Jio, for example, 4 rupees per Jio.
Yeah.
Why is free? What
Internet is
Mukesh
almost
Bhai
free.
has done is absolutely fantastic.
Indeed.
You know, without that, this would not have been possible.
Yeah.
And therefore, when you look at the Viksit Bharat part of it, I always say it has to have a number of characteristics. First, it has to be Suramya Bharat. Natural beauty that we have should not be destroyed. It must be Santulit Bharat, balance, environment, ecology, economy, equity and ethics must be balanced. Development without distraction.
Yeah.
It must be Suvidya Bharat, enlightened Bharat, you know. I mean, currently our education levels, and you see the current challenges that we have on education, where the army has to come in to distribute the papers and Prime Minister has to personally intervene. This is not on. This is not on. All right? Suvidya Bharat. Samruddha Bharat. And Samruddha does not mean some few rich people.
Yeah.
That distinction between India and Bharat must sort of vanish. I'm not saying everybody will have equal income, but everybody will have his well-being sort of protected. It has to be, I would say, Sushasit Bharat, well-governed Bharat. Okay. And finally, it has to be Swanandi Bharat. happiness
Yes.
at the end of the day. All right. I would say these should be the characteristics of Viksit Bharat. And I emphasize Bharat.
Yeah. So finally, sir, if you were to give a message to young innovators hearing this and watching this podcast and academic leaders on building the self-reliant innovation civilization, what it would be?
I would call these 5 Mashelkar mantras. Very quickly I will tell them.
Yeah.
I think the very first is that aspirations are your possibilities.
Right.
Keep them high.
Yeah.
You know, young Umesh at the age of 8, he said, I will be the youngest world champion, and he became one.
Yes.
So you have to keep them high. That is first. Secondly, particularly for young people, you can do anything but not everything.
Right.
So focus.
Yes.
That is very important.
Yeah.
Number 3, purpose, perseverance and passion. That matters. Perseverance. Winners never quit, quitters never win. Okay? And as I said, fail is first attempt in learning. But it has to be done with passion, but with a big purpose. All right? The fourth is, you keep on knocking on the doors, they don't open. Don't get frustrated. Open your own doors.
Right.
Now you will say, what does that mean? I'll tell you by my personal example. 1976, when I came back to India, we were a poor country. I needed an imported equipment that will take 2 years, basically, for doing my work in rheology. So that door was not opening. I said, fine. What is the equipment God has given me? This.
Yeah.
I changed the path, went into mathematical modeling and simulation, where only thing that we need is this. And within 5 years, I got country's highest science prize, Bhatnagar Prize.
Yeah.
All right. Which is given to people, scholars less than 45 years. Now, if I was waiting for the equipment, I will still be waiting.
Exactly.
I created my own path. And the last message I will give is that there is no limit to human endurance, human achievement,
Right.
human imagination. Accepting the limit you put on yourself, basically. And that is very important, because anytime you achieve something, you have to say, my best is yet to come.
Yeah.
Okay? So my mantra is very simple. Every day in the morning, no matter what you achieve, you say, my best is yet to come. And today is the day it will come. And whether you are 18 or 80, like I am 84 now,
Yes, sir.
we do that. My best is yet to come, and today will be there. And you can just imagine, if billion plus Indians do this every day, and my best, not just for myself, but for my society, for the nation, where will India be? Right up in the Committee of Nations. Thank you.
Indeed, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for those insights. And I think, as Honorable PM also says, यही समय है, सही समय है, भारत का अनमोल समय है.
Absolutely.
So, sir, thank you so much for taking out your valuable time to spend it with us. I think this message has gone loud and clear for the academic institutes, students, faculties, and the management of these institutes to take great lessons from this brief interaction. And I thank Honorable Dr. Mashelkar, sir, for taking out valuable time. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So, thank you so much for viewing this podcast. I hope the message from a visionary leader like Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar has provoked you to take up the challenge to make India Viksit Bharat. And for that, as a community, as a society, as an academic institute, we all have to come together and contribute our efforts with passion, perseverance, and the 3 attributes which Sir talked about. So we'll meet you in the next podcast. Until then, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.